All right, we are live. Welcome to FMA discussion. This is episode 50, and tonight we are featuring Stockton Multi Style. Hey guys, how are you?
Good. Hello from Stockton.
So, hey, we little trial and error, but we're here, you know. So what's the current status for you guys regarding the? I always like to ask if everybody get on here. Just curiosity, the COVID situation. What are you guys able to train? Are you locked down?
Well, we live in California, so pretty much everything's locked down. A lot of the areas that we were teaching at the Stockton Filipino Plaza. So we're unable to teach there because of, we can't do any gathering. And we were teaching at San Joaquin Delta College, and of course the school is shut down, so we can't teach there. So we're doing some informal classes during the week, Wednesdays and Saturdays, which is our regular training time. We train at Terry Jobin's house, one of our instructors. Across the street, he has a park across the street from where he lives, so he's been holding classes there. So we're trying to make do with what we can, and we still get together instructors now and then and try to train a little bit, but the venues, like you said, because of the COVID, are closed down right now. So things open up again, so we can start going, full bore, and that's what we're hoping for. So.
Yeah, whatever. Guess this man, huh?
We want to keep training, so we gotta, again, you gotta follow what they're asking you to do, for the safety of everyone. So, we're not holding formal classes, but we're doing some informal classes, and again, we're trying to do all the safety stuff. We're doing social, distancing, and we're making people wear masks and stuff like that. So the best but we're trying to continue to train. I think it's important to, try to make it as normal as possible. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are able to do something. I mean, who knows when this is going to end?
It's a different time, and it's one of those things where something comes across in life and it challenges you, and you just kind of find a way to get through it. So.
Yeah. I hope. You know what's going to end? Election. After election, November. COVID will mysteriously disappear. All right, so what I want to get to before is because you guys all live in Stockton, am I correct?
Yes, correct. We live in Stockton, California.
So, for the viewers, out in the East Coast, we hear a lot about Stockton and with the great area, the Filipinos and all that. Is it still heavily Filipino in Stockton?
There is a very big and large Filipino community here in Stockton. It continues to grow. Again, back before, this was a farming town, so a lot of them established their roots here, and their families have continued to live here, and it's continued to grow. So it has a very big Filipino community here. Still, so here in Stockton, it's still a very strong Filipino community here.
So, Jeff, just kind of speaking, is it still, as far as California concerned, predominantly where the most Filipinos live?
I'm sorry, I kind of breaking up. I didn't hear you on that.
No, what I'm saying is, as far as California is concerned, is it still predominantly the biggest area where Filipinos live?
I don't know if it's the biggest area. I mean, Filipinos have, they've reached out to pretty much everywhere in California and across the United States. San Francisco has a large population. Places down south and places like Delano that were farming places. As well as Stockton do have a large community, but I don't know if it's the largest, but I know as far as Filipino martial arts, it's probably one of the first places that really started teaching Filipino martial arts here in the United States. And that's what it's really famous for. So, that's part of our legacy and part of what we hold here in Stockton that we can be proud of. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on the East Coast, like Stockton is it. It's for everybody. That's what we hear about. All right. Well, before just for each of you, before we get into obviously the main aspect of your guys' system and what it comprised of. For each one of you, I guess we could start with you, Maestro, since you're in the front seat. What was your first FMA experience?
Okay. For me, for my history as far as FMA goes, as far as martial arts goes, I've been doing martial arts pretty much my whole life. I grew up in Daly City, which is right by San Francisco. I did some karate back then, some tempo, some other stuff. I moved to Stockton when I was probably around 10, 12 years old. My family moved out here because my parents got different jobs. I started Filipino martial arts back in 1988. I was introduced with from some friends of mine, Glenna Bracey and Coach Gargalo Kana. They were training with Leo Hiron in his backyard on South King Street back in 1988. I started training with Leo Hiron back in 1988. Back then, it was a different time, and basically you had to get interviewed to get into the club.
Interesting.
They would get in. He just didn't teach anybody. He felt that it was one of those things where it was a deadly art, so he just didn't want to give it to anybody. He kind of did an interview with you, so before he took you in. So luckily, I knew people that were in the club already, and I did my interview. I was able to get in. Loved it. Basically, it was backyard training. It was stuff that was practical, functional. Leo Hiron was a World War II veteran, so back then a lot of his training was based on combat. So there was not a lot of stuff where we did, a lot of fancy moves, anything like that. Basically, he was teaching techniques that you can use in a practical sense, where you can use it in real life. So his system was, basically very, very basic, but it was, to me, it was something I liked. I like the aspect that he incorporated a lot of sparring and a lot of fighting into it. So I thought it was something I could use. Just to give a little background on me, I've been in law enforcement for over 25 years. So back then, when I was getting into law enforcement, I wanted to find something that I felt that I could use, maybe on a job if I needed to. So that's why kind of drew me to it. That and also my Filipino culture. I predominantly, pretty much everyone in the backyard was from Stockton back then. So a lot of instructors, a lot of the people that were taking it, Dexter Lavinaugh, Camara, Mike Hiron, Tom Hiron, Roy Tai, they and they're basically some of the old Eskrima guys. Filipinos, so a lot of it was cultural too. So growing up in Stockton at that time, there was a strong cultural thing, back then as far as like the cultural things during the summertime, like they'd have like the barrio fiesta, stuff that really pushed your culture. So it was a big thing back then.
Yeah.
Same deal. I started in 1988. I graduated from the system in 1991, and I became an instructor under him in '93. He made me an instructor, and basically I've been teaching for him since then. Well, not since then, but through the '90s. I participated as part of his Bahana Club #1, which was the original club. I was part of their fight team, and we fought all up and down California and Hawaii. I was part of that team. Also helped captain it later on with Dexter Lavinaugh and Glenna Bracey. And then around 2006, we were lucky enough through Dexter Lavinaugh to start training with Dental Revelar, who was again one of the original students under Grandmaster Angel Caballas. So he taught Serrata. He also learned. Dento was lucky enough to learn from all the, some of the major masters back then. So he learned from Leo Hiron, which is Bahana style, Lagamano style. He learned the Serrata style from Angel Caballas, he's one of his main students, and he also learned the Cortes from Gilbertino. So he developed a style what he calls SLD, which is Serrata, Lagamano, Cortes. So in 2006, we were able to Dexter to train with him, because basically not anyone can just train with him. You have to be kind of like sponsored in. So through Dexter Lavinaugh and our friend Bobby Antuna, one of his main instructors, we were able to get in and learn from Dentoy from about 2006 2008. And after that, pretty much Dexter Lavinaugh and Bobby Antuna took SLD after that. So we were lucky enough to learn the major styles of Stockton, which is basically their own system, which is Lagamano. The Quarter style of Gilbertino, and also the Serato style of Eskrima through dental and also through later on. So very lucky. So very fortunate at the time that I was here in Stockton to learn those styles. Um, you you hear about people talking about all the time, but I was lucky enough to live it. So it's really great. So
Awesome.
a little bit of
Wow.
that.
Google Terry. What's the rotation? All right. So Google Terry, what was your first FMA experience?
I think back in 1977, I was studying two different places in San Francisco. One was Jeff Long and Aldi Costos' One Hospital studio, I think 6th Street, San Francisco. And then I was also studying at the Lazada Academy in Daly City. And that was about 70, just right after I got out of the Army. And that was in 76. So about 77, I started training in Kaji Kimbo and Kempo karate style. And at that time, Angel Cavalis, Grandmaster Angel Cavalis, was teaching at the Lazada Academy and teaching a lot of police officers and stuff. So we'd get to join in and play with them. And then I went on to doing other stuff, other different type of martial arts. Went on the seminar trail for a while. I moved to Sacramento. Just kind of messed around out there, and in 1990 I moved back to Stockton. At that time, I joined Ron Martini's Renbukai school here, and I got ranked in that, and also met Grandmaster or Master Art Dioxin. I got ranked in Jitsu Kai with him, Goshin Jitsu Kai, and during that time, I started looking for the martial arts, Filipino martial arts. So I believe I first ran into Angel, well, not Angel, excuse me, Vincent Cabalas, and I trained with him for a while, and then I started training with Carlito Bonja, and I did that for a little while, and then I ran into another guy who's now actually the current Grandmaster of the Tino Eskrima group here. And that was Daniel Ciazon, he had a class and he was teaching Bahalana at Stribley Park. And that's where I officially started my Bahalana training. I think that was around 93 or 94 or something like that.
Okay.
And that whole time, I'm still looking everywhere. I started to enroll as an affiliate instructor under Burton Richardson, under Larry Hartzell. I was trying to get on with Rick Fay. I was trying to get a bunch of the JKD stuff into my repertoire.
So Bert, really?
Oh yeah. Then at the same time, Daniel Ciazon, who was also a Bahala graduate and instructor, was very good friends with Grandmaster Art Dioxin of the Tino style. So at one point in time, I kind of followed him when he broke off, because I was in with at his school at Stribley at the time. And so I started my my De Cuerdas journey with Grandmaster, who's now the current Grandmaster of Tino De Cuerdas. But at the same time, I'm still training with Burton, with Larry, with Rimbukai. I'm still doing Bahalana under Grandmaster Leo and Tony Samara. I finally, because I was doing so many things that it took me a very long time to graduate. It almost took me like 7 to 8 years because I kept jumping around so much.
Yeah.
So I think I finally graduated from well, there's a couple things that happened too. Leo's house got condemned, so Leo and Tony, who was now I think he was still master at the time. He should have been grandmaster at the time. Moved the school, club number 1, to my school, which was the Rimbukai school. that the used to belong to Ron Martini. So now I had, at that time, at my school, we called it the Stockton Martial Arts Academy. And I had Leo there, Leo and Tony. I had Grandmaster Art Gonzalez there. I had Carlito Bonjos there. So we had a lot, I had a Kempo school, and now I was running the Rembukai school at the same time. So we had a lot of Filipino martial arts instruction at the Stockton Martial Arts Academy at that time. So anyways, get back to the story. 2004, I finally graduated. I think 2005, Tony Blair gave me my instructorship. In 2006, we decided to part ways and went with, actually with Mike Garone, Tommy Garone, both sons of Leo. We both were, they left with us for whatever reason they did. Dexter Lavanong, June Gothico, Eugene, Ines. I mean, all the top instructors, in my mind, from Baha'u'llah School Number 1, left, and we formed Stockton Multi Style. Well,
I didn't know you had two sons. I didn't know you had two sons. Wow.
Oh yeah, actually one just drove up and he's over here listening to me tell lies about him. Just kidding. I'll introduce you before we end the interview.
Okay.
Youngest son, Tommy L. Garone.
Okay.
That's about my story. So I've been having fun with Gene and June and the rest of the guys. We're still training strong. We're trying to continue to bring forth what was given to us, and we now give back free to the community. We're a nonprofit. We're a registered 501 nonprofit in the state of California and the United States, and we teach Filipino martial arts to anyone that wants to come here for free.
Wow. Okay. Here's something. You gotta get on. Those cooking. All your threads on cooking and all that. See now, you gotta get on Food Network. You could be doing lock and block while you're cooking.
One thing about the guys, me and the guys, we like to eat. We also like to drink. So it's like, I think that's one of the glues besides for our martial arts that hold us together and keeps us going.
That's awesome. I just all the time I'm seeing other stuff you're cooking.
We just like to do that.
Wow, interesting stuff. Is Guro is he available?
Yes, hold on.
All right, how are you? All right, we have to get your story. What was your first FMA experience?
Not like these guys got a lot of history. My first experience was walking through Leo Heron's door. It was, I would say, end of 1995, and I trained, and I graduated in 1997. And then, as I got to know people, I trained with, like, Carlito would invite me to go train with him, so I cross-trained there. Bobby Antuna, eventually Dentoy Redlar. But, yeah, I started with Leo, and it was always with him until later on in the year. And it was a good experience. It was, we got banged up there. It was like some of the hardest mentally and physically things that I did over there. I mean, I remember just going home after practice, and I wouldn't be able to knock on the door because my knuckles would be so hurt. I'd have to use my elbow. And then my dad would be like, he never understood that. My dad would be like, "Why are you taking that old Eskrima?" My dad's a World War II vet. He goes, "Oh, it's a new day now." He goes, "You have to use a gun now." So as I gradually got into it, it became a family to me over there. we got real close. All of us are like probably 20 years plus in with this. You know, we took our break.
Oh, wow.
We took, you know, we always came back. We were single. We had no families except our, you know, our parents. And then, you know, we did it. We grew up together. You know, guys back probably in grade school days that we all grew up together.
Oh,
And
okay.
we got our families. We went to school. Got our careers. You know, but we always came back. You know, that's how tight we became. And still today, our children are like brothers and sisters.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, wow, fantastic. I didn't know you guys were together 20 years. I mean, I knew you guys were together a while, but I didn't know it was 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been around each other for a long time, man. It's pretty awesome. I'm happy with you guys, man. And we learn, we feed off each other every day. We learn everything.
Yeah.
And it's been a ride.
Yeah, no. And we're going to get into that. So, are you guys, so should we get Maestro back up here? Wow, interesting stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so fast forward. I mean, so each of you guys' journey up and down was pretty fascinating. I had no idea that Guro Terry trained with Burton and all that. So then, okay. Overall, just for the viewers, and I know you alluded to it already. Just let's so we can focus on this. What is Stockton Multi Style?
Okay, well, it's been a progression, an evolution as far as our Eskrima goes. Again, we started, the majority of our instructors under Julio Ron. We started with him. But the main style of Stockton, again, are Tirada, Zagamano, which is Leo, and Recuerdas.
Volume. They must have hit something. Yeah, I can't hear you. You can't. Yeah, I'm not. No volume. Oh, looks like we got the tech guy here. Goodness, I tell you. Yes, Juan, there is, and I'm not sure why that is. And yes, and now why they are silent. It's funny. I just messaged Be Live too, like it discontinues. Going somewhere else. Where that somewhere else is, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys can hear me. It's their volume, Con Nelson. Lately, this has been like anything but easy. Again, I don't know if it's so much due to the amount of bandwidth or something else. There's just while they're getting back on, there's something called Facebook Rooms I've been looking into. The only thing, and I may just go to that because this continues. I'm going to be kind of like getting over this, but you can't bring media up at this point. it's not really going to be a big concern of mine. So I'm going to be considering Facebook rooms. I just got to look more into it and just see how that all works. And now they're gone, which is probably the best, so they can link back in. God, I tell you, just when things starting to get good. Of course, the other thing is I record on Skype, which the only thing of that is you don't have the live effect. I mean, but it's better than dealing with this. So I'm gonna give them a few minutes to come back in, and then we'll. And here they are. Yeah. Yes, actually, Juan, I do have videos for you. I just got to figure out how to get them to you. Yes, but I definitely got some videos. Like about 6 or so. Can you guys hear me?
You're us.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Okay. Back then, I think.
Okay. Okay.
You hear it now?
You okay? Oh, yeah, no, I can definitely hear you.
I hear you, so.
Okay. So we were at basically what is Stockton Multi Style? What it's basically made up of, consists of.
So basically, it's made up of the three major styles here in Stockton, which is going to be the logo model system of Leron, or actually the system of Leron, brand to Leron, broad system of Caballos, and also the required system of Gilbertino, who we learned through Dental Revelar. The aspect as far as Eskrima and stock is a little bit different, in my opinion, compared to other. I just see it streaming across the world, and I'm just telling you from my take from it, it's just a different flavor. And the time that when I took it, it was a time where we didn't really, how can you put it? It was back when martial arts still challenged each other. And I remember starting in Leo's backyard, and when I went through the interview, one of the first things he told me was, hey, if anyone comes to our club and challenges us, since you're one of the new students, you need to get in the back, and the senior students need to get in the front. And that's the type of stuff that they would tell you when you first started. So it was a little bit different time. So it was more practical, more combat oriented as far as what we learned stuff. And I'm sure that was a true for all the styles here in Stockton as far as it being practical. You really had to know what you had to do because you may have to apply it or use it. So a lot of the flavor from the Stockton Multi Style is from that time. Basically, we as a group came together and we learned all this stuff from all these guys, these great instructors, Leo Rohn, Dental Revelar, Dr. Labanov, Antuda. We learned that, and basically in a way that a practical, functional sense, which I love, that you can apply, and that's what we try to teach. So if you see what we do a lot of times, we try to push the envelope. We believe in a lot of ways. I see a lot of styles, and all Eskrima is great. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I think they're great. Just like anything else, you have good instructors, you have bad instructors. You have people that teach things that you think you apply, and some people you think that that's basically BS and you can't use it. I think it's still on the practitioner to try to find that and grab that and pull that in, and they can use that. And kind of functional and practical. And that's what we try to teach here. So be able to use or blend stuff that we know, and we made multi-style, which is basically stuff that we can use in combat. And that's what we call our multi-style system. So learning from the Lago Mono, the long range, and then close range with the Spotty Doggo or the Serrano style, and also the bladed style to support it. We kind of apply all that into our system so we could, whatever comes, we're able to handle it.
Okay.
So that's what multi-style is. We teach once you become, again, a lot of it's the art. A lot of when you first start, it's really basic, and you got to do stuff that, kind of pre-rehearsed, and your opponent's going to be compliant most of the time. You know, give you strikes so you can do stuff, and that's what you need to learn as far as the basic styles. You know, as you progress, you're doing stuff that's more close to combat. One of the things that Leo Marone tried to push on us when we first started was it wasn't whether you were going to learn spar or fight. You know, basically you expected. So we sparred all the time, Leo, because we felt that it was part of training. Where the person was compliant and he was, you know, you're fighting with someone, you learn some of the nuances of combat. It's not actual combat, but it's about as close as you can get without really, you know, really getting seriously hurt. So we've kind of patterned ourselves behind that. So we do a lot of stuff where we pad up and we try to do related techniques where, you know, to the point where you can do it at a pretty fast level, but you don't actually hurt each other because, you know, we all have jobs and we all have to go, you know, you don't want to break a hand or get seriously injured doing this, but you do want to, we love the art, we want to learn it and try to push it so we can apply it if we need to. But again, in a safe sense. So you see this in a lot of our videos where we put goggles on, we pad up, because we're trying stuff that's new and we don't want to get hurt, you know? And that's just one of those things where you know, continue to train. As you get older, you got to find ways to continue to train because, you know, back in the day, it was kind of frowned on if you use padding and stuff, but then it really doesn't do you any good if you get hurt, right? If you break a hand and you're out for a few minutes.
No, right. And then you got to go to work and you can't train.
Right. So we all have jobs and we all have to go to work the next day. So, you know, we've had to find ways where we can keep training at a high level, high intensity, so we can, you know, learn techniques where we can apply them, but still not get hurt and still, you know, and that's where we're at. We train, once you get past the basic level and you get to the higher level and you start learning stuff like, you know, the largo mano and learning the advanced techniques and SLD and so forth. We're at a level now where basically, you know, we train you to fight someone that's, you know, basically good at Eskrima or someone that can fight back. So that's what we look at. You see a lot of styles that say they're advanced and so forth, and again, you know, they're still doing stuff that's non-compliant. People are delivering to them and you're doing techniques. We believe that you got to push it to a level where someone, you might face someone who actually knows Eskrima or knows how to sword fight or knows how to use weapons. So what are you going to do then? You know, you can't do basic techniques against them because they're going to counter. So we train at a level where basically we're fighting someone that's more advanced, and that's where we are with our club. We're trying to push the envelope all the time as far as Eskrima training goes. For me personally, that's what I look for. That's what I love. I wanted to train where, you know, you can apply it because of what I do for work. You know, I didn't want to learn something that, you know, I'm not putting anyone down, but if you want to learn for the art, you know, that's great because that's part of it. That's part of the culture, and you want to push the art on. But for me personally, I just really love the aspect of combat, and I really wanted to push the part where I can apply it in a real world sense, and that's why I pushed the envelope. If you see us train, we do that. We got to shield up. I mean, we got to, you know, pad up instead of do it, but, you know, it's part of it. And I think it's important because that's what you want to pass on to people that want to use it in a functional sense or a practical sense. Because you have a lot of people out there that, you know, I train basically that if you came into my house, I can handle it if you needed to come in, you know, do something bad in my house. You got someone that comes in your house, I hope you have something in your bed you can pull out to use against them. You know?
Yeah, God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid. And that's what we train for. And that's what Stockton Multi Style, in my opinion, has taken the styles here in Stockton and elevated them to a point where we are now. So again, things continue to elevate and evolve, and we're just continuing to push the envelope in that sense because that's what we want to be. So that's in a gist or in a nutshell, that's basically what Stockton Multi Style is. So.
No, excellent. I mean, in the videos, definitely the videos that you guys put out, definitely, you guys, you know, I mean, I've seen them. You guys definitely are pushing the envelope. You know, I mean, anybody can see that or should be able to see that. You know, you know. Anyway,
I've done stuff there in Connecticut. I think you've seen our videos. I post all the stuff that we do because I really believe that it stands on its own. I got no problem with people looking at it and saying, you know, there's no secrets here. You know, you got to be able to do it. If you can't, then you know you can't watch me and do what I do. You know what I mean? So you gotta train it and learn what we do. to be able to
Yeah.
apply it. And so and you got to train. You can't just sit there and say, you know, a lot of people sit here and say, oh, you know, if he did this, I would do that, and it's a lot of theory. We push past that theory. We try to apply it and try to experiment and see if it works or not. And if it doesn't, then, you know, just like your JKD, if it works, then we'll take it, absorb it, and we'll use it and pass it on. If it doesn't, we find a technique that we don't think that, you know, is applicable, then, you know, we kind of put it off to the side. Not to say it's not bad or anything. It might be part of the art. You know, again, the artistic part of this culture of this art is very, very important. And Leo Huron, in a lot of ways, taught me that, and that he had a lot of stuff in his system as part of the art, and he just passed it on to his part of the art. And it was passed on him. And we try to pass that on to our students too. You know, and so the difference is Leo Huron told me that, hey, there's an aspect that you need to know, and that you have a style that's going to be your demonstration style, your training style. But you have your style that's going to be your combat style. Know how to switch between both. Know how to apply the stuff and learn to apply the real stuff in case you really need to use it.
You're right.
Again, war. So he, you know, again, he said, hey, I keep stuff in my style for the art, you know, but that's part of the art because I want to pass it on. But you got to know and be able to differentiate the two and know that when it's time to throw down, that you can dig into this bag and this is what you need. These are techniques that come out and apply. So that's basically, again, that's how we still try to push our style and our system. So.
Excellent. You referenced when you guys were up in Connecticut, and I have that pic, which I'm going to pull up there. There, let's see if, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me just move here. Should be able to come up here. What's going on? Let me try. I'll try to get up there later. But anyhow, I saw the pic. You guys did a seminar, which I thought was which was really good. I really enjoyed it. And all that. You guys, I thought were very kind and gracious too. So, you know, I enjoyed myself. Okay, so you kind of explained your goal. Which a little on the which I think is fascinating. I think it's really cool that you guys do that. The nonprofit. Was that a collective choice?
I've been telling you that we handle a lot of that stuff. We're talking about nonprofit. Howdy.
Yeah. So basically, what I asked.
I guess they what.
No, I think it's fantastic. You guys do that. Like, what? Was that a collective decision? What? You know, how did that come about?
It pretty much is a collective. Was everyone wanted us to find a way that we could still give back to the community what was given to us. So I would say that it was 100% vote between all the instructors and students that we go to a nonprofit status, that so that we can continue to teach, and also we're trying to figure out how to get grants so that we can spread the art further. Because most of the time, like when we went out to Connecticut, we pretty much went on on our own dime. We're trying to spread the art, or at least Stockton Multi Style, and then we went to New York. We pretty much went on our own dime.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, if we're able to get a seminar or something, they could help us recoup. But if not, it's still a good experience for us, and we would like people to know that Stockton Multi Style is a pretty good style, and it's something worth learning. And we want it to continue going after we're gone.
Yeah.
Because myself, I'm 66 in about 5 days.
Are you really?
On the 7th.
That's fantastic, and you're still out there like banging around.
You guys are a little younger than I am, but the
Good on you.
thing is that we're gonna keep going till the next generation, which we're already seeing some of our instructors that started with us when they were 12 and 13. They're
Mm.
graduating instructors, they're adults, and they're coming and teaching at the classes. And we still have a group. My youngest son, he's 14, and he'll probably graduate in a year or so, and then hopefully become an instructor. We have so many Gene's daughters. They're raised on Stockton Multi Style, and they are very proficient in what they do also. But being a nonprofit, it feels good. It feels good personally. I know that's
no. I think it's fantastic you guys do that. And I had no idea when you guys came out last time that a good majority of that was on your own dime. That's actually, I don't know, I think that's very admirable of you guys. And that's stand up, you know?
Well, the thing is that, Baba, he small seminar, which really helped make rooms and stuff. So we really appreciate that. But we're heading back in a couple different directions. As soon as this coronavirus will let us, then we're gonna kind of spread our style out there. Anyway, but before I get off there, I just wanted to one of my best friends here stopped in for a minute, and it's Leo Garon's youngest son.
Sure.
Tommy, I want you to come in and say hello, Tom. Come right here for a second. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
See me? How you doing?
Oh, yeah. Good. Thank you for coming on. No, I was just, I was aware that Master Mike had two sons.
Mike is my brother. Leo's my dad.
Yeah, no, so I mean, like that you had a brother Mike, but I didn't realize they were brothers.
Yeah, Mike is my only brother. He's my older brother, and I have two other sisters.
Oh, okay. So you still train with these guys?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Wow, fantastic. No, I'm glad you came around. That was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, Tommy is one of our instructors, and he's really helped out.
Awesome.
And what's next on the agenda?
Okay, let's get Guru Eugene back.
Eugene.
Hey. You're up. What can you tell us, just, in a general sense, what can you tell us just on the curriculum? Like, in the broad sense, I guess. I know you can't get into particulars, just for the viewers, like, what do you generally do? How is the curriculum started? Or not started, but how is it basically organized?
Organized? There's 3 levels. There's beginner, and then there's intermediate, and then there's advanced. And we don't teach it the old way, which was like, you would have to, when I went to Leo's, it was like, you learn all your number 1s, all your number 2s, 4s, 5s, and you got to this level where they teach you sombrada, largamano. As you went all the way to 12, and you had to complete some hours, then that's when you were put up for graduation. So the way that we instruct here now, June Gotico put it together, the beginning curriculum, multi-style curriculum, is he takes 2 blocks that are really important, 1 through 5, like roof block, inside block, the ones that are really combative. And then he takes little things that Leo taught us on the fan, and he put it all together in the beginning sheet. And then that sheet itself just the stuff that's on there makes me confident that that student can go out and I can't say go head to head with another Eskrima, a real good Eskrima, but he or she can protect himself. I mean, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah. When the intermediate stuff goes into, you know, a lot of SOD deployatives, and then the advanced stuff is like what June was talking about, you know, straight blade, forward, high speed, trying to figure out, you know, what works and what doesn't, and it just continues that, like adding stuff to the worksheets all the time.
Okay. No, fantastic. Before we get June, Maestro June back, what just for the viewers, what weapons do you guys stress? What's the majority, or do you cover all? What do you guys do?
Yeah, we cover all. I mean, we do first one is single bustone. Everyone has to, you know, that's how you start out pretty much. And then you do double stick. When you get to a real advanced level, it goes spotty doggun, you know. And then, you know, you do the pocket stick, tabat.
Okay.
And knives, of course. And, you know, anything. You know, so pretty much, you pick up a salt shaker and just go to town.
Angle one.
Right?
So no, fantastic. Just as far as the long and short, spotty adaga, are you mostly pulling from Kambalas?
Yeah, because the base of the spotty dogger is the Kabbalah system. What Dental taught us of that part.
That's kind of like the lock and block I was doing. When you guys came out, the lock and block.
Yeah, that was from what Dental learned, and Dexter taught us. You know, we learned from those guys and Bobby.
Okay. Yeah, no, great. All right, no. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's not like we learned the full system of Serrata, but you know, kind of the needed blocks that you need.
Okay. No, I thank you so much, Guru Eugene. I guess we'll get Maestro back here, and then it looks like we're going to be getting demos.
Where would you like to see?
Well, actually, I just had just one more question before we get to the demos. And I thought, as far as the demos are concerned, I'm thinking like maybe like a couple things for each system, each part of the style. How's that?
I'm sorry. Yeah, we can show a little bit of each style.
Yeah.
Show you how we incorporate into the combat stuff we do as far as.
No. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Just I want your guys. One of the things yeah, that'd be perfect for the demo. I have one more question before we get to the demos. I'm like a bit. I always really stress and advocate getting the youth involved. Do you guys have an active kid involvement? Kids are doing it.
Our program has always been big with the, you know, we've always had a big kids program.
Fantastic.
Instructor does a great job. Again, he's well versed in martial arts. He had his own school. He's taught karate for a long time, Rebel Kai and other styles. And he's really good at teaching kids. So when we first started this, it's kind of funny that you brought that up, because when I first started Eskrima, Leo Horong would not teach anybody that was under 18. Basically, he felt that they were not ready to learn, I guess, a lot of the intricacies of weaponry. So he only taught adults, and you couldn't be a certain age to, you know, if you didn't meet a certain age, he wouldn't teach you as a kid. There was a few people that came in like maybe 16 or 17 because their parents brought them in and they would teach them. But in a lot of ways, he felt that they just weren't ready to learn Eskrima, which is, you know, a pretty deadly art. So I guess he just didn't be adult. When we first started teaching back in probably 2007, if I got that date right, 2007, probably our first students were kids. So we kind of had to modify a lot of our stuff that we did toward teaching kids, and it grew pretty big. And if you watch a lot of our videos through the early 2000s or late 2000s, we had a big kids program. Today we still teach a lot of the kids. Terry does that on Saturday afternoon, actually Wednesday afternoons and Saturday mornings. He still teaches a lot of the kids. They'll come back.
Okay.
Kids that are, you know, family, friends, and so forth, we still teach for free, of course. And, you know, again, to push the art. But we were really surprised, to be honest with you, Dean, that a lot of these kids picked up a lot. My daughter, Maria, she started when she was a young age, and she picked up, you know, a lot of the techniques, and, you know, she was well enough that she did a lot of stuff in the demos. A lot of our kids did.
Oh, good.
Gene's daughter, I also, you know, very young when she started doing screen with us, and, you know, they're the ones that used to do our demos for us. So that's how well versed they got into our style.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel, you know what, for it to continue and grow, I just think it's necessary for us to get the youth involved, because MMA, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, your traditional arts, I mean, you're getting kids. I mean, you know, I think it's really important. I think it's great when you guys are really kids. You know, I'm a huge fan of that. You know, getting the youth involved. You know, so, that's great. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
I agree with you totally. I think that in a lot of ways, we've learned so much more from our kids. Just really, the way they were to pick it up and do it, you're just really proud of it, and you're just really amazed by how much they're able to absorb and to do. Before they would say only adults can do it. Well, a lot of these kids are, you know, we have a lot of kids that we've graduated from our system. Justice DeVera and some other people that started with us when they were 12. Greg Balabar that started when they were 12, 13 years old, and they're in their 20s now, and they're just, you know, they're just way ahead of us where we were when we first started, because we started probably, you know, I think they're doing stuff that at a young age that I really never thought of. So yeah, in a lot of ways, you're right. A lot of martial arts have looked and incorporated kids into their programs, and, you know, and we need to, as a Filipino martial arts course, continue to grow. I agree with you on that.
100%. Yeah, 100%. But all right, I'm excited. Demo. Whatever you want to show.
We're gonna pad up, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we go through. We pad up because we're going to do some steel against steel, basically. So
Okay.
We don't want to, you know. Again, I told you before, we kind of pad up so we don't hurt each other. You know.
Okay. Sure.
We're going to put the pads on real quick, and then we'll show you some quick stuff as far as Lagamano and Cordis and some Serrata stuff. Okay.
Sounds great.
While they're padding up, if you have any other questions for me?
Oh, you're gonna keep me company while they're getting ready.
Just a little bit of distraction, you know.
So I understand. You teach the kids then Wednesday night, Saturdays.
Right, Saturdays and we have a class Wednesday night at 6 o'clock for a couple hours, and Saturday morning at 9 to 11. And they pretty much learn the same curriculum as adults. But I do teach in a little slightly different way to keep their attention span. So if we went straight curriculum, it would probably be boring for most 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
To keep their, you know, doing walk over and over and over. So now we go to a lot of different things that are very, they start developing, not being afraid of the stick, not being afraid of some of these. We use a lot of mitt drills and bag drills where we start getting them used to being smacked and then countering. It's like bam, bam, no, 2 counts. Already like a roof block thing. The roof block, and they're hitting that bag back constantly, and then and as they get better, we start putting the curriculum in.
Okay.
For this, majority of the time, the first couple weeks, they're learning how to really hit hard and to be able to counter a bunch of different strikes very simply, simple movements that they can defend the 5 basic angles of attack.
Okay.
I guess,
Okay.
and they see the difference between a blade and a stick, but we start pounding on them pretty quick, and they seem to enjoy it, and it keeps their attention, because they have to, otherwise they might get, we're not going to try to hit them, but,
Oh, fantastic.
Oh yeah, if you watch some, because I've been posting a lot of the classes with these kids, and
Have you seen outside? That stuff.
it's outside. So I have a nice park across the street from my house, and so we're utilizing that.
Mm.
Yeah. So I
Right.
think these guys, June stand behind me with the big sword and some glasses on. So tell me if I need to adjust the camera angle or something.
Sure. Okay.
Or if
All right. All right. We'll do it. Absolutely.
No. It's like, so basically, Large model is basically a long range style, heavy weapon bladed, it's a bladed style. Basically, you want to make sure that you're not going to block a large model. It's direct hitting, body positioning, evading, and that's what you have to encompass. So you're not, large model, basically you want to be in a position where person can't hit you, but you hit back. That's one right there, 22. So you hit back. Right, so you good. Elastico. So you want to be out of the way.
Okay.
You want to be in a position where you don't get struck and you can strike back. That's like a model.
Okay.
Yeah. You're talking about the Curtis, which is again a bladed style. You're talking about winding in, more medium to long, mid to short, and basically you're closing the distance on it.
You gotta be kidding me.
Finish. Okay. That's your Curtis.
You guys faded out.
Okay. So again. Hold on, it's video. Hold on.
God, you're kidding me. Hmm. Not sure what happened that time. Okay, let's try it again. Hey.
All right, let's see if we got it. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're back. Okay, can you hear us now?
Oh yeah, we're good.
Okay, let's go. Okay, Guatemala gonna be in a position where he can strike you. He can't strike you. You can strike him, right? Right.
All right, elastico. All right.
So, Curtis, again, you're gonna wind in like it's like a spring. Basically, you observe with the hand. It's gonna be cutting out. You're closing the gap. Again, strike is usually horizontal.
we'll do a little spotty diagram, but we're going to show you a little bit of how we incorporate some of our multi-style stuff into what we do. So we kind of, whatever comes your way, you have different techniques that we teach you that you can draw from, whether it be the Serrata, whether it be the Largamano, whether it be the Curtis. So if Gene strikes me, I might use Largamano, right, to come back, right?
Oh, okay.
Again, you say people that may be good. So if I evade Gene, right, he may block on this, right? So you can still incorporate Largamano. So again, strike, evade, you may block, you still incorporate Largamano into it. Yeah, he may be good to be able to counter you, but you get the coming back. Now, if you want to incorporate some Decortis into it, same technique. If you use some Largo and you evade on the Elastico, and he comes back and he blocks, because as soon as he comes by, I'm coming back with it anyway. See that?
Okay.
It should be a quick counter. You don't want to sit here all day and just see evade. You got to look for a little. Okay. So if you want to incorporate Decortis, again, you're going to shoot and block, you slide to the hand. See that?
Okay. Awesome.
We'll do some spotty dogger. So our spotty dogger is based on the Serrata system. So again, you got the basic.
All right. So block and block.
How we incorporate is the same thing. He delivers. I'm gonna use some Largamano technique and come back and block, but I might come back with some Serrata. See that? Yeah, you're doing this style of this is traditional style where you have a short bolo and a knife. You're here in the fight, basically. So if you evade and you push back, right? The key is always try to get away from the deck. You get transition. But in there, you want to transition outside, so you can.
Okay. Awesome.
So outside, block. Again, with your Largo, even when we use the short style, or with your Largo, then it's how you incorporate shoot.
Neat.
That's kind of in a nutshell.
No, that was fantastic. Awesome. Yeah.
Again, that's gear up. If you try to use steel, so you get more of a feeling of how we do it. And again,
Yeah.
try to be a little more practical in what we do. So again, we got to train safely, so we continue to train. But again, we're always pushing envelopes. Always pushing envelopes to see what we can learn. And in doing so, that's how we, like anything else, things evolve and you learn new techniques and people come up with new stuff and you'd be amazed at what you learn when you start pushing the envelope. So.
Yeah. Could you, while you guys got the gear on, can you do something from the Fondo?
Sure. So the one system, basic, medium style, anchor style, which means you're not going to go anywhere.
I'll do it. You want to do
Got that.
You gonna do it?
So again, you want to unstick shoot. So you want to stick there, no matter what they give, 1 and 3. Again, you're gonna anchor down, and basically, the funnel system is basically you're standing your ground.
Yeah.
Again, it's a book style, more medium to maybe long, so you incorporate some Largamano into it. But this is one of the first styles you learn in your own system. And again, you're gonna go to, our what is our money basic Largamano once you learn that. So, but again, the funnel, some basic blocks, so some. So that's basically the fun of
Yeah. Good, thank you. Fantastic. Oh, thank you so much. That was great. Hey, what's cool with Terry? Is he barbecuing?
No, I'm still over here. Trying to not touch the phone so I don't make it go off again.
No, I was wondering if you were out by the grill.
No, it might might do some ribs here now in a few minutes.
Awesome.
It's not that time of day.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you.
No, I want to thank you guys. I mean, this was.
We want to appreciate everything you do for us, and you helping out. It's great to meet you, and thank you for allowing us to come out here and kind of share a little with everybody. So thank you so much.
No, I appreciate
Anytime
this.
you want to let us know.
Yeah, this is long overdue. You know, so I'm finally glad we got you guys together. Yeah.
I'd like to thank Nelson Pinto for recommending us, and Chris LaCava.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Con Nelson. Yeah, for sure. But all right, you guys, stay safe out there. Hopefully, this all ends soon, and we can get back to normality. So.
Yeah, thank you, June. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Take care. Well, needless to say, there is definitely going to be some editing I'm going to need to do in that episode. Oh boy. That will not be a quickly going to YouTube. So anyway, as I alluded to, next week, those who heard me, Thursday is going to be Maestro Carlito. Again, that's going to be just on Cabales. So really looking forward to that, just to get somebody who could just speak on that and what have you, and all that. So that's gonna be exciting. And Tuesday, again, we're gonna be looks like could be like, again, I was talking about a book review. So me and my old JKD instructor, Chris Smith, we're gonna get together. He's gonna kind of get his batch. I'm gonna get my batch, and we're just gonna kind of just go over what some really good reads in the FMA, as far as FMA books, and all that. So we'll cover a bunch of those. So that should be fun. It'll be a lot to tell, and then we'll show the books that we have, and what we recommend, what we based on styles and all that. So needless to say. But at any rate, I want to thank you all that tuned in and all that. I'm sorry for the choppiness. Sometimes can't just help the tech issues and all that. But I will see you guys Tuesday. Thank you and take care.